I am very excited about the possibility of there being a woman president for the first time in the United States. The first female president or prime minister was in 1960 in Sri Lanka, and it's now 2016, so I definitely think it's time for the US to elect our first female president.
With this upcoming election, I'm very excited to see that a woman is running. I think having a woman as the president will help broaden America's idea of a leader and may open many doors for our country. It would be interesting to see how the country is ran through the eyes of the woman. I wonder if women's rights would be strengthened and if we could be considered an equal throughout our country and the nation.
Something interesting about this year's election is the possibility of having a woman as president. I think having a woman as president will greatly help with representing females in politics, and that will also help benefit women all over the country in their equality, in rights, and stuff like that. Since women make up around 51% of the population, they aren't as represented in politics and hold less than 20% of congressional and legislative offices. So I think having the possibility of a woman as president will not only help influence other women to get more involved in politics, it will also help bring more female perspective and ideas within politics that for the past have largely just come from men. So I think having a female as president will definitely help with women's equality and just bringing more of a female perspective into ideas and situations.
Having a female president would be great for children and young people because they could have a strong role model showing them that there are limitless possibilities for what they can do with their life, whether it be being president or following their own dreams. Having a strong female role model will also be good for young people because they will see that women can do anything that men can do and will be more likely to treat everyone equally.
So, since we're going into a progressive era of our time, women in power have had a difficult struggle because they have to prove themselves more than they ever had before, not only for themselves but for other women in other positions. And as we've noticed on the news and in our recent current state, that a lot of people target and ridicule women who have strong opinions, and they would hit them at areas like such as their appearance or their age or their status as a mother, and it's not fair because they don't do that to men, and we should change that. And I'm looking forward to hoping a better future for the next generation to come.
I think that the wage gap is a really big issue in our country. Women, I think at this point in our society, are equally, if not more, qualified for jobs. And I think that job qualifications shouldn't be based off gender. The fact that women make 79 cents for every dollar that a man makes, I think is completely unfair and just archaic, considering that we're getting the same education as a male would in college, and we come out with the same degrees, if not higher ones. So hopefully with a woman president, she'll realize that women's rights are just as important as men, and we'll get the same pay.
Okay, we're going to drop a factual bomb on you. So according to the Pew Research Center, most of the world has never had a world leader. Within the year of 1964 to 2014, only 5 countries in the world have had a female world leader for more than 15 years. Those countries are India, Bangladesh, the Philippines, Ireland, and Iceland. Now, five other countries have only had female world leaders for 10 to 14 years. 13 countries only had female world leaders for 5 to 9 years. 40, surprisingly, only had female leaders for 1 to 4 years, while 79 countries in the entire world have had no female world leaders. Where we lie in this category of data research is in the 0. We are the pink. We are in the 79%. We are the 79. We are the 79th. We are in the 79 countries. We are one of these 79 countries that did not have a female world leader, and we're hoping we can be a part of the 1 to 4 years. Yeah, we're supposed to be the progressive ones. Talk about disappointment.
One of the reasons why I don't think Trump would make a great president is his lack of advocacy for women's rights. Throughout his campaign and beyond that, Trump has made many misogynistic and degrading comments directed towards women, whether it was directed at their bodies or their intelligence or their credibility in different areas. I think he definitely has said many insensitive things and very immature things throughout his campaign and his career. I definitely think that having Trump as president puts at risk certain laws that are in place that are protecting women's rights, such as Roe versus Wade and the funding of free clinics such as Planned Parenthood. Part of Trump's campaign is the defundation of free clinics such as that, and I think that with a president like that in mind, I don't think it's fair for a male politician or just Congress in general to take the rights and make those decisions that directly affect women and take it under their own authority and direction without much consideration to the people that they're affecting, especially since women do make up most of the population, or at least larger than half of the population. And I think with Trump being president and him openly expressing his misogynistic outlook, I think will directly affect women in this country, and that's why I don't think he necessarily would be a qualified president.
So the idea of Donald Trump, well, him running for president and maybe even having Oval Office seems crazy, but it's reality and we have to deal with it. And the only reason why he would actually get so far as he has is because there are people who believe in his ideas and are supporting him, and that's a concern amongst ourselves as a nation. He has a lot of ideas that he wants to pass off in Congress, but the likelihood of him actually getting them passed is really hard because it takes us forever as it is to get a bill passed, and let alone a constitution. That'll take you like your entire 8 years if you are president for 8 years. So I'm not too worried about him that much because he's gonna have to deal with Congress once he wins us over as a country. He's gonna have to deal with Congress, and they're hard to win over.
One of the reasons I don't think Trump will be a good candidate for this election is the fact that he always brings up Hillary Clinton's husband to face while he was the president. And I don't really think that's fair to base someone, their credentials off of someone that they're related to or in a relationship. I don't think it's fair that he brings it up because the way that her husband ran the country may be completely different from the way that she plans to run the country. So I think that's really immature of the candidate to bring up another candidate's dirty laundry, for say, and use it against them when it has nothing really to do with how they would run the country.
To me, the possibility of having Trump as president is scary for many reasons, but specifically because I do not believe that someone who says such rude things and boasts about sexually assaulting women should ever be allowed to be such a high role model. What Trump says about women, people with disabilities, and minorities is not okay. It should not be the words of someone who young people look up to. Sexual assault is not a joke, and people treating it as so or just passing it off as, quote, locker room talk is disgusting. Our president should be someone who respects everyone and believes in equality.
1 2 3 4 1 2 3